Hi, welcome to video number 8, how to regulate your nervous system. So this is where we're going to talk about extreme distress tolerance, right? And so what I want to say first is if you're extremely distressed and you're feeling suicidal with a plan, you call 911, you go to the emergency room, you don't wait, right? Having suicidal intentions is different than a plan. If you have an active plan, please reach out for help. And if you're supporting someone who's feeling suicidal, then try to understand the difference between the suicidal thoughts and the suicidal plan. All right? So these techniques are for extreme distress when you aren't dealing with the suicidality. All right? So you can splash water on your face, right? Really cold water when you feel extremely out of sorts. Maybe you've had a fight with a friend or a colleague or maybe a boyfriend or something's happened and you just are so dysregulated. Splashing cold water, right, can help. The First Nations have a practice called usimj, where they immerse their body in times of extreme emotional dysregulation, distress, and pain, right, in the cold water, right? 1, 2, 3, all the way under, and they'll have actually, sometimes have spiritual experiences in that ritual, right? And so in the times when it's too cold, right, they'll just splash the water on their body from the sacred place and the river where they go, right? So splashing water can help downregulate that. So another one is you can pat down your body. Remember I was showing you in the other video with the containment strategies. You can pat down your body all over because what happens is trauma takes us out of the present, right? We're lost in the past, thinking about what might happen in the future, right? And what we need to do is come into the moment, right? So you can pat down your body if that helps. You can thump on your chest rhythmically, right? Maybe you're doing it like a cross-lateralization strategy, just like that, right? Maybe you're doing it all together. Again, right? You get out of your body. You want to get back in it. Excuse me, my eyes itchy there. So you can also slowly rub your ears, right? Maybe you like that. I'm not a big fan of this one, but some people really like it. So I'm just trying to demonstrate it. You can tug on the earlobes and rub. You can bring your fingers around side of your ears, right? Some people really like that when they're extremely distressed. It can mellow them right out, right? Then there's a 5 senses exercise, right? Where you go through your senses and basically this one, I'm not so good at it. So I'm just going to backtrack and make sure that I get it right. Here we go. So you would focus on 5 things that you can see, right? You focus around 5 things that I can see. Okay. 4 things that I can smell. Okay. Right? And then 4 things that you can smell. 3 things that I can hear, right? What can I hear? You identify them, right? 2 things that I can touch. I've got my cords on, right? Different than my sweater. 2 things I can touch. Bring yourself into the moment. And then 1 thing, right? 1 thing I can taste. What can I taste? So that's an exercise that you can use for moments of extreme distress tolerance as well, filtering through your 5 senses and really tuning in, right? It doesn't really matter what order you do them in, let's face it, right? We're just trying to regulate ourselves, bring us back into the moment, into the present moment, right? So that is my collection for you of extreme distress tolerance recommendations, right? Oh, it isn't. I've got a couple more actually up my sleeve. So another thing that you can do is a grounding walk, right? Where you're just really focusing on your feet on the ground, swaying a little bit and trying to get into that sensation, but if you're too dysregulated for that, don't mind, you're just trying things, right? You're just trying when you're in that extreme distress. Remember we talked about the tense and release? Sometimes that can be helpful when you're really distressed, right? Just like balling it up and then shaking it off. And balling it up and shaking it off, right? And just allowing yourself, right? And maybe there's exercises like chopping wood or maybe you need to go work out, right? Like when you're in that place of extreme distress, maybe you literally physically need to work that out of your body, okay? So allow yourself to check in, right? What do I need in this time of extreme distress? And also be compassionate because oftentimes when we've been through a lot of trauma, we don't really know what we need in times of extreme distress. So we have to be willing to try new things, okay? So that's my hope, is that you'll recognize some things that you already do and maybe give some new strategies a try, okay? So one of the things that I love to teach people about, and I'm going to teach you in this how to regulate your nervous system, is about how to use self-compassion for those times when you're really super duper out of sorts. Okay, so there's a segment on that, don't miss it.